the Agora in Amathus. There's columns surrounding the area. We've got some really cool, at the top of the columns would have been these, made of marble, I think. Aren't they fantastic? And at this in here, let me just, over here, wow, look at all these. Such ornate masonry. I'm very impressed that it's survived 2,000 years. But what I was meaning to show you is this, and this would be where the fountain would be, in the middle of the Agora. It's just fantastic. What a cool place. Let's go look at some of these marble columns. Sadly, these ones have fallen over. It looks like someone scratched into them. Smiley faces in 2025. That is very, very disappointing. But wow, so cool. Look at these under the floor, or on the floor. They're tubes running through. A lot of them are obviously destroyed. I wonder if they were used to carry water. I wonder if this area, I don't know. I haven't seen it in the book anywhere. It mentions anywhere in the Agora. I don't know what this area is, but wow, so cool. If you look here, the stonework on the floor indicates where buildings would have been. So if you look here, so the meeting place would be here, and then the various public buildings, shops, and other areas. I'm walking, I think, either in between a few right now, or I don't know. Look at these. Wow. Isn't that amazing? I'm walking in between them, and then you can see over here, here's another view. There's Ellie in the distance. She's waving because she's beautiful. Here's a lizard on the floor. I think it's some kind of skink or something. Here's a closer look of the fountain, what I presume to be the fountain. I've lost the lizard. Wow. Oh, come look at this. Look at this masonry. Wow. And all this was left behind. And it somehow has survived 2 millennia. It's amazing. Look at this, isn't this a cool water bowl? See where the water would have come through. I want to see something even cooler. Here are all the water pipes going down, and they spread down to those water pipes there, which I mentioned earlier. Look here. Here is where the water system came from, I think. And look up there. Never be able to get up there. Imagine what's in there. Some kind of underground house. Here's a closer look at these buildings. There's the Agora. Up there, the Basilica was over there during Christian times. I don't know if you can see. A more administrative buildings and houses, I think, was up there. I took some pictures and videos which I'll include. Ellie's up there on the bench. She's just happy to have some rest, bless her. She's not finding this as exciting as I am. So the various conduits, the water here came from a natural spring. Various conduits, these water pipes, and these bowls here would supply water to the surrounding area. Somewhere down here were Roman baths. So here is the Roman baths that I mentioned earlier. As you can see, the water came down here and through there, and if you remember, I was down there and I wondered where those led to. They lead to these baths here. Every day in Roman times, people would come to these baths to wash and to chat. You know, just like in England, we go to the pub every day to chat with our friends. The Romans would do something similar at the baths, except obviously they would get clean instead of hammered. The public baths were facilities that met the citizens' daily needs for body care during the Roman period, while also serving as places of social interaction. The Roman baths of Amathus, despite their restricted size, followed the architectural expertise of the period, where rooms are divided based on the water temperature that heats up gradually from the east, cold water, to the west, hot water, due to the underfloor movement of hot air and smoke. The rooms comprising the bath complex follow a straight course so that the bather could gradually proceed from the cold to the hot baths and backwards to exit the facilities. Entrance to the cold bath was through the changing room. The floors of the warm and hot baths were raised and supported by square brick pillars, forming the hypocaust system, allowing the underfloor movement of hot air and smoke from the furnace to them. The warmest parts of the warm bath was a basin located in the right above the furnace. These two rooms had floors and walls laid with marble and paving. The bath complex was supplied with water from the large cistern or nymphium at the north of the agora by pipes hollowed out of the stone cylindrical blocks. Here is the Hellenistic baths. So these are the baths from the ancient Greek times, pre-Roman baths. Obviously the Roman baths, they're further down that way. These are the Hellenistic baths. The Hellenistic public baths, or balneum, occupy the south side of the agora. The baths were considered a collective and important social experience. They were situated near the city's agora, and the architecture reflects the cultural influences that were dominant in the eastern Mediterranean during the years of the Ptolemaic rule. Amathus's balneum is characterised by a series of secondary rooms that frame a main circular area where baths took place. Bathers were seated around a circular room where smaller basins existed for washing their feet, which are now visible in the southwest part of the room. Until the 2nd century BC, cold water was used for the bath. Later on, a rectangular construction was erected at the centre of the circular room, probably used for creating dry steam. Furthermore, the bath area was limited and bathtubs were added. 3 smaller rooms north of the circular room can be associated with a service room or storage area, changing rooms, and possibly a room where bathers would go to rub oil on their bodies. Their floors are decorated with black and white pebbles arranged in geometric pattern. The eastern room has a mosaic floor decorated with white rosettes surrounded by black and white squares. To the north of these rooms, a long area is possibly associated with a gymnasium or a stoa. Unfortunately, that's most of Amathus covered. But it's super cool to imagine just over here was a Roman city, a Greek city from the Ptolemaic era, possibly even older. Might have even had traders from Minoan Crete, from the Aegean. Obviously there would have been traders from Egypt. Well, thanks everyone for watching. I hope you've enjoyed my video. Sorry about my crazy hair, it's got sun cream in it and being blown around by the sun. Hope I've been relatively coherent. Goodbye.